I see the crystal raindrops fall.
Happy Thursday, fertility fam! How are you? Thanks for clicking on Simply Tanika. I am Tanika. I am walking in a winter wonderland. Can you guys see that? Oh, and look, I can see my transition glasses are working. With the sunlight, they're getting darker. Anyway, so yeah, it's cold out, but I'm gonna go into work today, mainly because I have therapy and it's just easier to get to therapy from work. But yeah, you guys know I can work from wherever. So headed in, and yeah, excited about therapy. I think I've come to the conclusion, don't quote me on this, that I'm gonna TTC until December of 2018. And then I think that's gonna be it for me. I'll be 47 in May, and either way now, I'm having a kid at 47 or 48, right? I don't remember what the cutoff is, but yeah, even if I get pregnant in December, I'll be 48 when the kid is born. So I think for my own sanity, I need that deadline. Now, does that mean I'll try donor egg IVF between now and then? That part I don't know yet. But we have to, as with all goals, have some sort of like threshold, deadline. And I think like that's the best way to protect my heart. So yeah, that's what I came up with this morning in the shower. I hope your day is starting off well. I'm gonna get into the office, and I'll chat with you guys either before or after therapy or both. But yeah, I'll talk to you a little bit later. Have a great day. What's up, fertility fam? Hey, how are you guys? I'm home, and I didn't check in with you right after therapy because I just had a lot going on in my mind. But I feel better. I feel better now that I have committed to TTC through the end of 2018. Talked to the therapist about the BFN, and it's a little like, I don't know. First of all, if anybody is going through infertility, I think therapy is important just to sort of like ground you and have that conversation. I see that therapist, and then I also see someone who has like a group, the Helen Adrian class, where there's other people who are going through it, and she has had a miscarriage and dealt with infertility and REs, and so I think it's just good in general to have that support system. But you are yourself, and you bring all of your baggage into your therapy, right? No matter what you're going through. So I'm going through the infertility, and then I'm dealing with like my own baggage. And one of the things is not expressing my emotion, which you guys are probably like, what? Because I feel like I do it on here, but I not so much in my regular life. And so we were talking about that today, and she was like, do you have anyone that you can be sad with? And I was like, why would I want someone that I can be sad with? Like, that just seems so weird to me. And she was like, oh, it's because you're not used to it from growing up. And I mean, she's right. Like, it seems like very indulgent to walk around just being sad. Like, I do feel like you have to be sad for a moment. So it's something that we've touched on a couple of times in therapy. I'm going to journal about it and see, what comes up. But I guess I just don't have those kind of relationships with people. And I don't know that I'm going to go out and make new friends, or I just talk about my feelings and my sadness. Like, isn't that what therapy is for? I'm kidding. I don't want to go to therapy for the rest of my life, but it does get a little challenging, and I don't know. Like, yeah, it's hard, and I feel like, especially because I've had friends that I've spoken to about it, and people are, well intentioned, but sometimes judgy. Like, oh, why are you doing this at your age? Or don't you want to wait till your daughter has children and you can have grandchildren? And well, the answer is no. Like, if I wanted to do that, I would be doing that. I don't feel like I'm a person who's unclear about what I want. So I don't know what to do with those comments, right? I don't want to be defensive. I don't want to like jump on the person. I'm sure they mean well, but I just feel like, well, duh, no, that's not what I want to do. So it's hard to find support. So I find myself not talking about it to people. Yeah. So hopefully by vlogging and talking about it, that encourages other people to have conversations, and maybe we remove the stigma altogether, and it's just not such a a painful, lonely process, I think I'm going to do a video on what not to say to someone who is TTC, and then we can all share it with our friends and family members. And yeah, and I mean, I'm guilty of it. I've done it before I was aware of the fertility issues. I would ask people, so are you guys having kids? When are you having kids? And, it is such a very personal and sensitive topic. And not that I don't, people can talk about it. I want to encourage people to talk about it. But I think when you bring it up in such a flipped way, it makes it hard. It makes it hard for that person to follow up and say, well, actually, we are trying to have kids and we're struggling. And someone's calling me on my phone. I'm trying to remember where I was, guys. So I'm back. I believe we were talking about the sensitive topic. Cheyenne is saying the sensitive topic to families that are trying. So I think just for all of us to be more compassionate, but to open up the conversation, right? A part of why I started this channel I felt alone and I wanted people to be able to talk about it. And so I don't want to put shame on anyone about how they're responding to me. I do want it to be educational and have it, because I believe people, their heart is in the right place and they just don't know. In the same way that I didn't know when I was asking people, so when are you going to have kids? So I think it's a matter of education. So I think maybe I don't know, I have to think about it. Maybe it's a funny video, or I don't know. There's definitely room there to talk about it. But anyway, so I think that all makes it hard for me, is what I was explaining to the therapist. People haven't been through it, so they don't know. And she was like, well, just because someone hasn't experienced something doesn't mean they can't, empathize. And I'm not saying that they can't. But they have to be educated about their empathy, right? Because they'll say the wrong thing. I remember when I had the miscarriage and people were like, oh, it was, what God wanted or was meant to be. And that's not helpful. And my mom always says, sometimes it's better to say nothing. If you don't know what to say, sometimes it's better to say nothing, or just say, I'm with you, or how can I support you? That's always helpful. How can I support you? Or that I'm just thinking of you, So that's my challenge outside of fertility. Infertility is dealing with my emotions, and then you add on this sort of complex thing, this very personal thing, and it gets a little challenging. So we talked about that, and then we talked about the sadness from the father of the baby and how to kind of manage that. And I haven't been at all. I just totally have not dealt with it, and I said, let's deal with it, and we'll see what happens. It just makes me want to protect my heart, I think. It just makes me want to be cautious in all things. The heart is so, especially now, I feel so vulnerable, going through all of these and putting my heart and dreams and hopes on the line and having them crushed. I feel vulnerable, and so yeah, I put a little bit of the backstory on the simplytanika.com website on my journal, because I hadn't really talked about it in the videos. I think I said that in my last cycle about, I didn't lead with that because I thought being 46 was more interesting than, being single mom by choice and, how I got to that decision. So there's a little bit of it there, but it's complicated. And I guess everything is complicated when you're dealing with other human beings. But we move on. I'm hopeful for it all. Never say never, I guess, and take it one day at a time. That's all any of us can really do. So yes, again, thank you guys for all your encouragement. I love the comments. I love when you guys are, hang on. So I love it when you guys comment and let me know how you are doing and you have words of encouragement. A lot of you guys have wisdom. You've been doing this longer, just had different journeys. And I love hearing how you kind of walk the path, and appreciate you taking the time to give me that advice. So thank you for that. All right. So let me know what you think about the 2018 December TTC effort. I think it's the right thing to do. It feels good. I feel like a weight was lifted off of my shoulder, but I'm curious to know what you guys think. All right, I hope you are well. Thanks for watching. Bye. Mwah. Baby, that's to you all.